My name is Bruno Bettencourt, and I'm from East Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay. So Bruno, have you been watching The Real World a lot in the past? Were you familiar with the show?
Yeah, I've always been familiar with the show. I've watched like all the way through a few seasons. I definitely watched the last one, The Explosion, and that was definitely an interesting one. And so I'm familiar with it and what goes on.
What made you want to be a part of it?
I was happy with my life, but I felt like I was just content. You know, I wanted to try something like that was so out of like my character, and I wanted to see if I could possibly make it on the show itself. And for the experience, I just needed a change in my life, and you know, like something like this, like I could have never imagined doing. Here I am.
Have you ever been to Chicago before, or was this your first time?
This was my first time. I've been just in the airport when I was flying into California, but that's about it. I've never been in the city. I've never, like, this is my first time here. My skeleton, you know, is my brother, you know, it's out there. So, you know, it's definitely hard to be confronted about it in person, especially on cameras, but, you know, just try to make the best of things and try to forget the cameras there. So it's definitely not easy.
So he's the one that I read about in the press release that you hadn't talked to him in 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
So what's the backstory there about? What did you guys fight about?
So, I mean, the story may seem a little stupid and funny, but there's more to it. We got in a fight over a tuna sandwich. And like, I'm very big into fitness, and at the time it was my only source of protein, and you know, it was my meal, that was my planned meal. He started taking the tuna, I get home, he's putting it in a pocket, I take one of the pockets, I'm like, dude, this is my tuna, I bought it, it's my tuna. And he was very rude back then, more closed off to himself, and like, I'm playing around, I just get home, I'm getting ready to shower, eating the pocket that I took. All he did was stuff the pocket with the tuna, and he starts like cursing at me, like saying stuff like, because I almost died in a car accident, and he's like, you should have died that night. So like, I went in his room, we flipped out, like I was in his face, we almost got in a fight, my mother came in between it, and you know, I'm very stern on things I say, and that's it. We didn't talk for 3 years. Nothing is scripted, like it's 100% really us. Like, obviously we can appear a certain way, but it's just knowing that nothing's scripted. Like, I love that, because I always stay true to who I am. I would never be a sellout. Unless I was actually acting, like for a TV show, like yeah, I would do that, but like to sit here and fake who I am, I could never do that.